Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wa salawatu rasulillahi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Alhamdulillah, we are celebrating our Ramadan. Alhamdulillah, we've passed 1 week now, and inshallah it's going very well. And we are benefiting from this month of Quran. And alhamdulillah, as we listen to Quran every day and doing our own reading and listening in Taraweeh, we should be taking lessons from this glorious and holy book. And one such lesson, actually not one, but in this one surah, there are many lessons. And this surah, of course, is Surah Yusuf, alayhi salatu wasalam, Joseph in English. And this story, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us this is of the best of stories, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala himself is telling us this one long story in one surah. This is a very unique place in Quran, subhanallah. And it's a story about a family, and specifically the relationship between siblings and their father. Subhanallah, this world is a test, and if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given you a righteous father and righteous siblings, then that is a blessing from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But not all situations are the same. And maybe a person has been given not a righteous father, and maybe a righteous father and siblings that are wrongdoers. And so everyone's situation is different. Sayyidina Yusuf alayhi salam, the story of Sayyidina Yusuf alayhi salam tells us something very, very important. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala test in this world is sometimes through family as well. That you could be a prophet. You could have a prophet. And you've got many, many children. Look at these, 13 children. And yet, you have, within those children, you have a prophet, you have a second, two prophets, and then you've got people that will go so far, or children that will go so far, that will murder a prophet and accuse their father, which is a prophet, of being in dalal, to be astray. Imagine that situation, subhanallah. But this story teaches us that when a person has a situation in their family, not everything has to be shared. Jealousy is a real emotion, and it is a very, very detrimental emotion, even within the family ties. So one should be very wary of sharing, especially in this day and age of social media. Not everything is to be shared. You know, you take a picture of your lunch and then you send it to the world. You can expect people that are going to have hasad. You're going to expect people who are going to be envious of that. So you say, okay, I'll make my circle smaller. I'll just send it to my family, right? Immediate extended family. I'll send it to them. They're my family. They wish for me good. No, even that is dangerous. Subhanallah. So you should be very wary on who you send this, you share these intimate moments or your life situation, especially daily things. Subhanallah. Be very, very careful. There's a saying in Arabic, subhanallah, protect your candle from it being extinguished, from the wind. That wind can be from anybody. So you protect your daily dealings, especially those that involve your children, that involve your wife or your spouse. These relationships are very, very, very sensitive to the eye of others. So we should be very careful of that. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give benefit to us through the Quran al-Kareem. And again, I'll reiterate that the Quran is not just for reciting and listening to for the beautiful melody and for the blessings of it, that we should understand its meaning. That means I should read the translation, and now we should also look in the tafsir, the meanings of these verses and the reasons why they were revealed. Maybe not the whole Quran in translation, but choose some surahs that you're familiar with, that read them. So you listen to them. When you listen to them, you understand what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving us, the message that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving us. And now we have no excuse. MashaAllah, technology is at our fingertips, that we can get the meanings of these verses very, very easily, very, very quickly. While we're reading in the Arabic, we can highlight words and get the meaning of the English word. You can, MashaAllah, so many Qur'ans I've seen that the Arabic and the English are not just side by side, that the Arabic and the English is right underneath it. Subhanallah. And then you've got also books and resources that show the most common words in Quran. I think they're 500 words. So if you learn those 500 words, that's 70% of the Quran. Imagine, subhanAllah, 500 words. You can memorize those words bit by bit, and the meaning of the Quran will start to become. I always say, when you read the Quran with a little bit of meaning, it's like watching, the difference between watching a normal television and watching a 3D TV. You watching a 3D TV, you're becoming immersed. There's immersion in the reading itself. So subhanAllah, of course, there's no example like the Quran and TVs, of course. This is just a simple example for us to understand, subhanAllah, that there is different levels of Quran, subhanAllah, and that we should be on this journey. We shouldn't be just a spectator. We should be on the journey. Wherever it is, one step by one step, we should be on the journey of understanding Quran and implementing Quran in our life much better. And this is the month of Quran. This is the month of Quran. May Allah give us tawfiq. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.